SQL is the query language that is used to interact with relational databases like MySQL and Postgres. I'll just cut to the chase and show you the absolute fundamentals that you must know as a software developer. Now, for the sake of this video, let's create a table in which we'll store information about video. To create a table, let's literally write create table videos, and in the parentheses we can specify the columns that we want to have in this table with the data types. So we'll have the ID of the video as an integer, we'll have the title of the video as a bar char of let's say 200, and we'll have the view count as an integer as well. Now, the integer data type should be familiar to you, but what is a bar char? A bar char is basically a string in which we also specify the max amount of characters that it may have. To indicate that the ID is the unique identifier of each row, we can specify a primary key, as well as add an auto increment option so that each time a new row of data is added, it will automatically increment the ID. Now we have just created a new table. To see if it actually works, we can run the show tables query, hit enter, and yeah, here we go. We have the videos table. Now that we have the videos table schema set up, we can actually insert some data into it. So we can do so by typing insert into the table name, which is in this case videos. In the parentheses, we specify the columns that we'll want to insert. So in this case, it's the title and the view count. And then we specify the values, and into parentheses, we pass in the actual values that we want to have. So in this case, we can write my first video, as well as the view count, which is going to be, let's say 200. And let's hit enter. And it successfully ran. To query all of the data from the videos table, we can write a select query, and we'll select everything, which is selected by the star symbol, from videos. And with the from clause, we select the table that we want to query. Now, if we run the query, we can see that we have all of our data here. For the sake of this next example, I've created two more rows of data, which you can see right here, the second video and the third video. And here, if we run this query once again, you can see that new rows have been inserted. To sort the data in an ascending order, we can specify order by view count, and it will sort the data in an ascending order. And if we wanted to sort it in the descending order, we can add a descending keyword. What if we want to select a specific row from this table? We can indicate where ID equals 2, for example. And if we run the query, we'll get only the second video, or the one that has the ID of 2. Now, obviously, this works with any column of data. So if I change this from the ID to, for example, the title of my first video, and run the query once again, we'll get the needed result. We can also write aggregate functions in the queries to perform some basic calculations, like getting the count of videos that have a certain amount of views. To do so, we can write select count of star from videos where the view count is more than 400. And let's run the query. And indeed, we get 2 videos that have more than 400 views. We just barely scratched the surface of all that SQL has to offer. But honestly, this is all you need to get started as a software developer using SQL. And with that, I wish you all the best with building cool stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.